First, to put into our urgent queue that David Petraeus has in fact submitted his resignation letter, and what have you learned since then, Kathy?
Well, what I've been able to learn, Trace, is that there was a chain of events this week. I was told that there was a major meeting that was set up at the CIA for Thursday of this week. It did involve bringing some principals in from out of town, and that the meeting was canceled at short notice because Director Petraeus had to take a meeting with the president. Now, what would be a standard operating procedure here is that his deputy would take that kind of meeting, but I was told the issue was such that it could only be taken by the CIA director. What I just learned from an intelligence official a short time ago is that it was on Thursday that the CIA director asked the president if he could submit his letter of resignation for personal reasons. I was not told anything more than that. And then today that letter was accepted by the president. While the request was for personal reasons, I think we need to lay out a couple of things that have happened just in the last few weeks alone. I was also told today that there was considerable angst about a briefing that was given by the CIA last week, which laid out their timeline or their version of events of what unfolded in Benghazi, and specifically the emergency response in Benghazi. I was told, was it possible that the White House did not sanction that and the White House did not approve of that timeline, because it in fact said what happened there was not our problem, it was someone else's problem. The other thing to consider, as we first reported here at Fox, is that there really was a disconnect between what lawmakers saw as the raw intelligence about Benghazi, which pointed towards a terrorist attack, and the briefings they received from the CIA director within days of that attack. If you can just stay with me, let me lay that out for you. Just a couple of days after the attack on 9/11, I was able to confirm that the FBI and the National Counterterrorism Center were briefing to lawmakers that the evidence supported, and these were telephone intercepts, that it was an al-Qaeda or an al-Qaeda-related event. And then the following day, the CIA director went up to Capitol Hill and briefed that it really did seem to be a demonstration that had spun out of control like a flash mob, and that the origination was this anti-Islam video. This disconnect really upset lawmakers who felt that there was other intelligence that pointed to a terrorist attack, though General Petraeus seemed to downplay that in his briefing. In addition, I'm told that the attack in Benghazi not only created concern about the murder of the ambassador and those 3 other Americans, but it also created great angst about the exposure of the depth and breadth of the CIA operation in Benghazi, which is largely an operation that is focused on getting these Stinger missiles off the battlefield, if you will, in Libya and out of the hands of extremists. So again, what we know right now is that he asked to be released for personal reasons. We need to take that at face value until we know otherwise, but you have to see that statement in the context of those 3 factors I've just laid out. And I just want to close by reading the section of the statement that we just had from the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper. This is someone who is the nation's top intelligence official and has really worked hand in glove, if you will, with the CIA director. And these are men who have known each other for decades. And the statement reads in part from James Clapper: "I have spent more than 5 decades serving our country in uniform and out, and of all the exceptional men and women that I have worked with over the years, I can honestly say that David Petraeus stands out as one of our nation's great patriots. On behalf of the entire intelligence community, I thank Dave for his service, his support, and his continued friendship." And I can also tell you in my conversations this afternoon, while there was the great urgency about the news that the CIA director had resigned, you also had that sense of sadness. This is someone who has dedicated 30, 40 years of his life to service, not only in the military, but now to the U.S. intelligence community, Trace.